A Scandinavian bedroom has exactly one job: sleep. Not a second office, not a laundry overflow zone, not a place to charge every device in the house. Just sleep. And once you start looking at a bedroom through that lens, it becomes obvious how much of what's actually in most bedrooms has nothing to do with the room's actual purpose. We've touched on Scandinavian sleep habits before: the cool air, the separate duvets. This time we're going room by room through everything that doesn't belong in the bedroom in the first place, based on the same principles behind our home and kitchen videos, applied specifically here. And just before we get into it today, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you enjoy the videos, please consider subscribing. It's a quick, easy, and free way of supporting the channel, and it helps out more than you know. So thank you. Let's get into it. Item number 1. A television. This connects directly to something we covered in an earlier video about screens before bed. If the TV is mounted on the bedroom wall, it's not just a temptation, it's an invitation. Sitting there every single night, making the choice to scroll or watch something the path of least resistance. Scandinavian bedrooms are built around the opposite default. The television lives somewhere else in the house, or doesn't exist at all. Item number 2. A phone charging right beside the pillow. The charging cable within arm's reach of the bed guarantees the phone is the last thing seen at night and the first thing touched in the morning. Astrid's phone charges in the kitchen, or the hallway, anywhere that isn't the nightstand. The 5 extra steps required to check it are, on their own, often enough to break the habit entirely. Item number 3. Heavy, light-blocking curtains. We've mentioned this one before too, but it belongs on this list specifically. Nordic bedrooms lean toward sheer or light curtains rather than blackout fabric, because morning light is what actually sets the body's internal clock for the day. A room sealed completely dark might feel cozier at 10 at night, but it makes the following morning noticeably harder. Item number 4. A single shared duvet. You've probably heard of this one by now. It's gone viral more than once. 2 separate duvets instead of one shared comforter, so nobody's compromising on temperature or fighting for coverage at 3 in the morning. If your bedroom still only has one, this is the one item on this list you can fix by tomorrow night. Item number 5. Clothes draped over a chair, worn once and set aside for someday. Every bedroom seems to develop this chair, the one that quietly becomes a second closet. In a Scandinavian bedroom, clothes get exactly 2 possible homes: worn and back in the closet, or in the wash. There's no in-between resting place for clothes that are technically clean but not quite dealt with. Item number 6. An overflowing laundry hamper instead of a regular rhythm. This connects to a principle from our Never Messy video: nothing sits and accumulates for more than a day. A hamper that's genuinely full, spilling onto the floor, means laundry has become a project instead of a routine. Astrid's hamper gets emptied on a predictable schedule before it ever reaches that point. Item number 7. A nightstand cluttered with old cups, papers, and half-read mail. The nightstand is one of the fastest surfaces in any home to quietly become a catch-all. A Scandinavian nightstand tends to hold 3 things: a lamp, a book currently being read, and a small glass of water. Everything else that lands there gets moved out within a day. Now, I should say this clearly, because decluttering advice can become another form of entertainment if there is no system behind it. Watching one video, removing a few things, and feeling motivated for a day is not the same as building a home that stays calm. That is precisely why I created the Scandinavian Reset. It guides you step by step through how to assess your home, simplify what is creating friction, and build routines that are realistic enough to continue after the initial motivation disappears. It is not about perfection or creating an empty showroom. It is about creating a system that works for your actual life. I've linked it in the description, and I've also pinned it in the comments below as here. Item number 8. Synthetic bedding instead of natural fiber. Cotton, linen, and wool breathe and regulate temperature far better than synthetic blends, which matters enormously for the cool sleeping environment. Nordic sleep habits are built around. It's a small material choice with an outsized effect on actual sleep quality. Item number 9. Heavy, oversized furniture that crowds the walking space. A bedroom that requires turning sideways to get around the bed isn't functioning well as a bedroom. regardless of how nice any individual piece of furniture might be. Scandinavian bedrooms tend to be sparsely furnished relative to their size, prioritizing open floor space over filling every available corner. Item number 10. A mattress kept years past its useful life. This one's easy to ignore because a mattress doesn't announce its own decline the way a broken appliance does. It just gradually gets worse. A sagging, years-old mattress undermines every other habit on this list simultaneously. No amount of cool air or the right duvet fixes a mattress that's stopped doing its job. Item number 11. A pile of decorative throw pillows with no clear home. 6 or 8 decorative pillows that get removed every night and then just exist somewhere, on the floor, in a heap, until bedtime again. If they don't have a designated spot to live during the day, they're clutter wearing a decorative disguise. Item number 12. An open closet with visible disorganization. This connects to the closed storage principle from our Never Messy video. A messy closet, if it's open or has doors that don't quite close, adds visual noise to the one room that's supposed to feel the calmest in the entire home. Closed doors, even over an imperfect closet, remove that noise instantly. Item number 13. Unfinished work materials or a laptop. We've talked about the mental boundary between work and rest before. A physical laptop sitting open on a desk in the bedroom is that boundary, violated in the most literal way possible. If work has a presence in the one room meant for sleep, the mind has a much harder time treating that room as separate from the workday. Item number 14. Exercise equipment doubling the room as a gym. A treadmill or a set of weights in the corner of the bedroom turns the room into 2 competing spaces, with 2 competing purposes. Scandinavian homes tend to give exercise equipment its own space, however small, rather than layering it into the one room meant purely for rest. Item number 15. Wall decor that isn't genuinely meaningful. Generic mass-produced art, purchased because a blank wall felt unfinished rather than because the piece actually means something. This is the bedroom version of the decorative clutter we talked about in our home video. A few things that matter, surrounded by open space, beats a wall filled edge to edge with things that don't. 15 items. And notice what's missing from this list entirely. Nowhere on here does it say the room needs to be empty, or expensive, or perfectly matched. It just needs to be doing one job well, instead of 5 jobs poorly. If this changed how you look at your own bedroom tonight, hit the like button, subscribe to Scandinavian Secrets, there's more where this came from. And in the comments, tell me what video you want to see next. I read every single one, and a lot of what ends up on this channel starts right there. Och som alltid, vi ses nästa gång.